Good morning, or afternoon, or evening, depending. It's time to practice. And for today, we have a nice little gamut of warming up with some sun salutations. We're going to throw some of those in there, along with some rotational movements and poses, and some nice front body openers as we work towards releasing the back body, all leading up to our peak pose of today. Supported shoulder stands, gets a little bit of nice spinal traction in that one. So let the journey begin, and I'll meet you on the mat. All right, let's get started with a little grounding. So you can have your feet separated a little bit or together, wherever you feel most comfortable and balanced right now. And we're just going to begin by inhaling, bringing the arms up, lifting up our heels, and exhaling, nice and controlled, back down. It's not comfortable to lift your arms overhead, maybe only to shoulder height, and lift your arms as far as is comfortable. I should mention that I do have my blocks, my strap, and a blanket in case I need it for a little extra support. So those will be handy things to have. If you need to get those, take a pause and then come back into it. Or maybe you were ready and you already had them. One more. And we'll take one of those blocks, our ever favorite warm up. Squeeze it between the thighs, above the knees, feet together or apart, whichever is comfortable. Ideally, we want them closer rather than wider. Inhale those arms up. And as you exhale, press the hips back to chair pose. We'll move with the breath, inhaling as we come up, and exhaling back down. Next time we come into chair pose, we're going to hold it. Continue to breathe deeply and evenly, nice and steady. If you feel that you can't breathe deeply and evenly here, if it's not comfortable, find a spot that is. Bring it back up on our inhale. And on our exhale, we're going to nicely hinge down, bend the knees so that the torso will rest on our thighs. It might hit on the block a little bit right now, and that's okay. Just a nice, gentle variation of our forward bend. And as it's comfortable, you can slowly start to straighten those knees out. Wag the tail a little bit. Stretch the sides out a little more. And an inhale, we're going to reverse our hinge back up. Exhale to our chair pose. Make that a little sequence. Inhaling up. Exhale, hinge down. Inhale, reverse our hinge back up. And keep going with the flow. With the breath. At your own pace. The next time we come into our forward fold, we're going to hold it there. No rush. No rush. Everything just release and relax. That squeeze on the block will help keep our hamstrings from acting like a parking brake and stopping us. Every exhale, let a little more tension go. And nice and slowly, one vertebrae at a time, we're going to roll ourselves back up. Maybe we feel a little taller now. All right, let's set that aside. Do a little upper body stretches while we're here. Take that right arm, bring it across the chest, but not so much that your shoulder comes with it. Stick that shoulder blade back onto its rib cage. Get a better stretch to the outside of our upper arm that way, without totally cranking on our shoulder. We don't want to do that. Release and switch to the other side. And release. Take your hand out in front of you and press down on each digit, each finger. The other hand. And give it a little shake out. And clasp your hands behind you. Inhale. Press the hands down, opening the chest, not arching our back. Keep that tailbone drawn down. Just the chest. Exhale, release. A little shake out. We'll do it again. And then on an exhale, we're going to hinge forward. Let your hands come away from the body as much as they're able. And release. And then we'll bring the hands down, step back to our plank pose. Not sinking into our shoulder joints while we're here. Like this. Press that floor away. Let's take an inhale, moving to up dog. On the exhale, pressing to down dog. Sending the hips back. Our belly button is in. We're pressing our heels to the floor, and they don't have to touch. Pressing back through our upper body. Triceps are actually rotated in towards each other. Yeah, feel the change in the stretch in the shoulder when we do that. It's delicious. Kneecaps, use the quads to lift those up. And an exhale. Moving back to plank. Inhale to up dog. And on an exhale, back to our down dog. Let's bend the left knee, press the right heel. Bend the right, press the left. And the left, press the right again. And one more time, pressing the left. And press both back into our down dog. If your arms get tired anytime, or if you get uncomfortable, you can always move into child's pose and then just hop back up to it, into it as you're ready. On an exhale, going back to our plank. And then on an inhale, let's move back to our up dog. Draw the shoulder blades back and down. Get as much space between those ears and shoulders as you can. Quads are active. Our abdominal muscles are active to support our spine and the back bend, so we're not just cranking back on our vertebrae, squashing our discs. We don't want to do that. And let's move back to our down dog. On an inhale, bring that right leg up. Keep your pelvis level. Don't wing over to the left side. Deepening the stretch on our left side here. Exhale that foot back down. And then inhale up. And then exhale, bring it back down. Look up, walk your feet to your hands, back to our forward fold. Hands on the hips, drive the elbows back, and a nice hinge back to standing. Almost time for our sun salutation, but one little sequence before we get to that, just because I think it's a nice little warm-up and prep for a lot of us who are especially stuck or tight before we get into the great range of motion we experience in our sun salutations. All right, we'll do our revolved crescent two runners pose vinyasa. So let's take it back on an inhale, our crescent. Exhale, revolved crescent. Inhaling back to crescent. Exhale, nice hinge down to our runner's pose. Inhaling back up. And exhale, return to standing. Then we'll do the other side and we'll just keep going. Lengthen those hands between the hands. And as we go through our sequences, if you feel like maybe you need a little more time in one pose than a breath, then take a breath or two or three. It's about addressing your needs and how you feel in meeting them, not just following along. It's okay if you're like, I need to stay in crescent a little longer. You can do that. I'm simply here as a guide for your journey so you can experience those moments. Because that's what it's about. Ooh. get one more round, one more time on each side. Give a little shake out. All right. Okay, now we'll do a few rounds of our sun salutations. I will guide you through the first one, poses and with the breath. And then you will just continue to move with the breath and go with the flow. All right, so we're at our top of our mat. Here we go. Inhale the arms up. Exhaling, nice hinge down. Inhale to flat back. Exhale, releasing down to plank. Inhale, up dog. Exhale down. Inhale the right foot up. And the exhale, step it between hands. Left heel goes down as we inhale up to our warrior one. Exhale to warrior two. Inhale to reverse. Exhale back to two. Inhale, taking it down. Step the foot back on the exhale. Up dog. Down dog. Now the left side, inhale up. Exhale, step it forward. Inhale to one. Exhaling to two. Reverse. Back to warrior two. Inhale, taking it down. Step it back. Up dog. Down dog. On our inhale, this time we look up. We exhale, we bring our feet to our hands to forward fold. Inhale, our flat back. Release again on the exhale. And on our inhale, we hinge right back up to where we started. And we continue with that. This is one of my favorites, reverse warrior. It just feels so nice. An undoing of everything we tighten up during the day. We got 2 more rounds. Focus inwardly on yourself, what you're experiencing, where you're at, what feels good, what might feel not as good. Do you feel stuck? Is it mental? Or is it physical? Work through and breathe through those points and those moments. Because each breath is an opportunity for change and greatness. So take advantage of your opportunities, because here we have many. Our last round. And on the exhale, bring those arms to the side, nice and open. All right. Let's step it out wide. Have a block handy or 2 in the event you might need it. So we got our right foot facing straight forward. Our left foot is turned in a little bit. Remember, you don't have to have your heels on the same line if you don't feel balanced there. That's okay. Our legs as straight as is comfortable. And we're going to spill the pelvis over that right leg and gradually bring ourselves into triangle. Hand on our side at the moment as we work on opening up. Think of lifting those lower ribs up towards the ceiling. Bring your arm up if it's comfortable, nice and long from fingertip to fingertip. Hands on your blocks, your shin, the floor. Whichever enables you to be open and comfortable. Take extended triangle, lengthen that left arm. Bring the left arm back up. Then we're going to lift back up. Bring the arms down. Adjust our stance a little. We're going to square our hips up. Place right hand on our lumbar spine. The left hand is going to reach forward. Keep it pulled in as we hinge forward, lengthening. When we found our spot, this is where I know I need blocks, that hand goes down. And then we're going to revolve our triangle and open to our right side. Keep the right hip hugged in. I know that I do not have the ability to stay open and raise my arm up, so I'm going to keep my arm to my side. And release to center. Just let yourself come forward here. Gently bend the knee. And we're going to switch it to the other side. Set my blocks over to the other side. So we switch our feet. Find the alignment that works best for us. Start to spill ourselves over. Find our center. Lift the arm if it's comfortable and you're able. Feel that stretch on the right side, at least for me, I know right through here. Relieve the tension, let the stress go with it. Exit the body. Lengthen through the right arm now, overhead. Bring that arm back up. Lift. Take a step in. Ooh, don't fall over as I almost did. Square up the hips. Feet planted firmly and solidly. We have our left hand on our lumbar spine and that curve back there. Right arm forward. Hinge and lengthen. When you've reached your lengthen point, that hand goes down. Then we open to our left. I'm going to switch around. You maybe see me a little bit better. We get full perspectives. Okay. You don't have to do that though. And release. And then we'll step it right back up. Set those aside. Take a wide stance. Heels and toes lined up this time. Hands, palms, fingers interlaced behind us, palms pressed together. Inhale, just like we did with our feet together standing. Open the chest. And then exhale, coming forward. Release the hands. Let's take a walk over to the right ankle. And over to the left. Back to the right. And one more time to the left. Returning to center. Place hands on the hips. Draw the elbows back. Nice hinge. Back to standing. And walk it back together. All right. Then let's bring it back to the front of our mat if you're not already there. You have even changed perspectives like myself. Inhale, stepping back to crescent. And on the exhale, interlace our fingers, place them behind our head. Inhale, lifting through the chest. Pressing the hips forward, lengthening the tailbone down so we're not overarching. Pressing the head back into our palms, our fingers. And on the exhale, hands to center. Inhale here. And then exhale, we're going to twist. If it's more comfortable to bring your knee down, you can bring your knee down. And on an exhale, we all bring our knee down. Bring it to center. Flip that foot under. Inhale the arms up. And on the exhale, drop the right hand, lengthening and opening our left side. Place your right hand on a block. If you're really tight and you can't make it to the floor, that's okay. And then exhale, we bring that hand down, both hands to the mat. And we're going to step our right foot out at an angle, kind of like 90 degrees with the body, lengthening with our left, and come into a variation of side plank. You might feel a little more glute stretch here, a little more activation through the adductors or those inner thigh muscles on our left side. If this isn't comfortable, you can, of course, just stay down with the knee or regular side plank if this is too much motion at the hip. And we're going to pivot, step it back to a down dog. Bring the knees down. And I'm going to change perspective so you can see what I'm doing. We're going to come up. You can be hinged and have your feet wider than hip and shoulder width apart, your toes pointed out. You can have your blocks in front of you right now if it's a little more comfortable to hang on to support. And we're going to drop the hips down as we rotate, pivot the head and chest up. Bring our hands together, elbows on the insides of our knees. We're using our outer hip muscles, our glutes, to keep those knees from collapsing in. If it's not comfortable here, you can take your blocks and place them under your hips for support. If this helps you get a better opening, I encourage you to give that a try. If your heels are lifting, you can take a blanket and place it under those heels. Find the spot that works for you. If none of those work, you can come right up to, hinge right up to a standing or a nice hinge, forward fold, forward bend, down dog. And we're going to open things up a little bit more if it's comfortable. So our right hand comes down. We're going to inhale, rotating, opening with the left. Exhaling back down. And then our right side. One more time each side. And it's important while we're here that we're not, this isn't where we're at. We want to be nice and lengthened. Kind of lengthen the tailbone down, stabilize the pelvis so we can have a nice elongated spine, our chest open, our head up. And then to get out of this, we're just going to roll it up. Bring our heels and toes back together. Hands on the hips. Draw the elbows back. And hinge up, press the hips forward. All right, that's one side. Now we get to do the other one. So we're back to the front of our mat, the top of our mat. Inhale, stepping back to our crescent. On the exhale, interlace the fingers, place them behind the head as we lift the chest, press the back of the head into our hands. Keep your elbows wide. And breathe. If having your knee at 90 is too much, you can stay right up here. Just be where it's comfortable. Meet yourself where you're at and do what you can. On an exhale, bring the hands to heart center. Inhale and exhale to our twisting lunge. Remember, you can put that knee down if it's more comfortable for you. We'll bring it down at any time. We're all going to bring the knee down. Inhale to center, flip the foot under. Inhale, the arms up. Exhale, dropping the left, opening that right side. As I always like to say, getting your pelvis out of your armpit, creating length from your armpit and the top of your pelvis. All of those muscles are stretching, opening. Bring that around. And to shift perspectives. Step that left foot out, perpendicular to the body. And we're going to take our side plank variation on our right side. If it's not comfortable to have your hand up, you can keep it at your side. Of course, that's always acceptable. Bring it back down. Step to our down dog. Get a little length here. Let the knees come down. Step the feet out wider than hip width. Here we go into our garland pose again. That's what this is called. Toes out. Gently begin to drop the hips. The head and chest come up. Settle into it. Make sure you're using those outer glutes. We're not just hanging out here. Activate them. Activate them. You'll notice a big difference in the stretch, the effect of the pose if you do that. Tall, spine long, head and chest are open. Let's do a little side opening if comfortable. Inhale with the left. Exhale back down in the right. One more time each side. Bringing it back to our center. And let's gently roll out of it. Hands on the hips, right on our hinge point. Elbows drawn back. And bring it back up to stand. All right. Then let's take our strap. You probably thought I forgot about it. You didn't. Coming to the end also, this is helping us to get our final lengthening. Kind of put the cherry on top of everything that we've been doing, building up, creating heat, releasing tension and energy for our ultimate lengthening. All right, so I have this looped around my right foot. And first things first, get up nice and tall. Bring that knee up. Find your center here, and maybe that's where you're going to stay. If it's too much to lengthen, that's perfectly fine. Pelvis is locked in place. And if you're able, extend that knee, pressing the heel, pulling the toes back towards the shins. Then we take and open out to the side. If you have to bring it down and bring it back up, that's perfectly fine. Remember, I'm just the guide for your journey. Back to center. Nice and slow and steady. And releasing back down. All right, let's loop it on to the other one. That right leg a little shake out, left leg a little shake out. Bring the knee up first. Find your center here. Maybe you're a little more balanced on one side than the other, and that's perfectly normal and totally acceptable. One side maybe you can lengthen, one side maybe not. That's also okay. And maybe that's just the circumstance of today. Don't judge yourself. Just because one day you could do it, and one day maybe not so much. There are plenty of days and opportunities, so this isn't the only one. Bring it out to the side if you're able. If you want to go back down first, like the other side, like I mentioned, go right ahead. Bring it back up as you're ready. Back to center. Back down. All right, take that off. Set that aside, and we're going to take it to seated. First, we'll start with our staff pose. So legs straight out in front of us, hands on the outside of our hips. Lengthen the spine, we're up nice and tall. You feel stretched through maybe your forearms, your biceps. Take a couple breaths here. I'm going to inhale, maintain spinal integrity, but lengthen. And on the exhale, maintain that length you just gained. Bring your arms back to your sides. We'll do that one more time. Lengthen again, bringing it up. And this time on the exhale, we hinge forward. So we're maintaining that spinal length and coming forward. It might mean that your hands reach your toes. It might mean that they don't. And that's okay. This isn't what we want to see. The goal here is not to hit the toes. The goal is maintain alignment and work with what we are able to do. You learn about how we're able to do these things and maybe how we're not in the process. What muscles and things need to move and make adjustments. Release. Have your blocks handy. We're going to roll it on back. Let's do a little glute stretch while we're here. So I'm going to take my right foot, my ankle is flexed. I'm going to keep it that way. Place it on my left thigh. My toes line up with the top of my knee. Grab under my left knee. Head and shoulders stay down. Maybe even chin tucked a little bit so you'll lengthen through the back of the neck as you pull that left knee in towards you. Release. And switch for the other side. Remember, keep that ankle flexed. We don't want to put unnecessary torque on our knee by letting it get sloppy. Head and shoulders down. And pull that knee towards you. And release. Then take a block. I have two because mine are very thin. and place them under the sacrum, where it's comfortable. Just relax here for a moment. Extend the left leg out. Bring the right knee in towards the chest. Taking care that the left knee stays down and doesn't start to lift with it. If you're really tight through the muscles of the front body, your deep spinal stabilizers, what people mistakenly call the hip flexors. It's easy to do. I fall into that trap myself. They're not actually hip flexors. Release. Switch to the other side. And release. We're going to bring both feet flat now. So we're in like a supportive bridge. And now we're coming to our peak pose. The culmination of everything that we've been working on and working towards. So you have some options. You can stay right here if this is comfortable, if this is appropriate for you right now. You could certainly do that. If you'd like, you could take one leg up, extend one leg up. And of course, this is an option too. You can alternate one leg up for a bit, and then the other one. And we take and straighten the other one. Hands at our sides, pressing down into the floor. Neck is lengthened, chin slightly tucked to enable that. Pressing your heels up towards the ceiling. Quads are active, your kneecaps are being pulled down. You can even splay the toes a bit if you can do it. Really enhance the stretch. Bend a knee, bring it back down. Bend the other one, bring it back down. Wide the blocks out. Let the hips sink down. I'm going to take happy baby here. Hands go on the inside of the knee and grab hold of the outside of the foot. We're pulling the knees down while also resisting with our hands. So our hands are pulling down and our feet are pressing up. Our entire back body is in contact with the mat, tailbone, back, shoulders, and head. Release. Extend those legs out. Bring the arms overhead. Interlace the fingers. Bring the hands together. Nice big deep inhale. Gathering up all your remaining tension. Flex all your muscles. Make a face. Hold it. Hold it all. Exhale and release. Let it all go. And your arms to your sides. Tuck the shoulder blades under so the chest is open. And take Shavasana. If you like, you can roll it over onto your right or left side to the fetal pose. Bring yourself back up to seated. Nice long spine, chest open, head up. Inhale, bring the arms up, lengthening one last time. Exhale to the heart center. Namaste. I hope you enjoyed today's practice with some rotational movements and poses, some nice front body openers to complement those as we work toward releasing tension through our back body and finally ending with ultimate relaxation of the back body and little spinal traction and pulling it all together. So that's what we got for today, and we'll see you the next time.